All right, let's take a look at the up-to-date Western Conference standings from Sacramento. You see the Warriors now jump into that 9th spot. They're a game up on the Kings. They finally get a win against a California team. The Suns are out of the box. The Warriors a game out of the loss column against the Dallas Mavericks and a game out of the loss column against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And they do have the tiebreaker over Minnesota. They beat Minnesota 3 to 4 times. They met up this season. Dallas is still up in the air. They'll play them on Sunday to try to win that season series, or at least even up that season series. So, look, the Warriors are making moves here, but instead of looking at the standings, just control what you can control, which is what you did tonight. If you're the Golden State Warriors shooting 54% from the floor, 46.5 from three, and dishing out 40 assists. They play like this, they won't have to worry about scoreboard watching. They'll move up the standings by just playing well.
Yeah, so the Warriors right now, you can't focus on the standings. That's not how you play the game. You got to focus on playing well. For the Warriors, they feel like they have a puncher's chance if they have the offense rolling, if they have the defense rolling, if their chemistry's together, if the guys are healthy. So these are all the things you worry about. Tonight, I just saw consistency. I saw consistency on the offensive end. Every quarter tonight, they scored over 30 points, the Warriors did. And with that being the case, the second quarter, they scored 37 points. They just continue to show you on the offensive end, they're creating shots for each other. 40 assists. That's incredible. That's guys coming into the game understanding, I'm going to get this guy open. I'm going to get this guy shots. Even when the bench came in at the end, the bench outscored the bench for the Kings tonight, 46-21. Even when the bench came in, they were creating shots for Kevin Knox. It's just a thing that's, you can just see the ball movement, and you can see that the Warriors, they're enjoying playing with each other.
We've said this all year, even when they get off to that 12-3 start, not who you're playing, but how you're playing. The team right now, since Jimmy Butler has got here, it has a 2022 vibe. And I'm not going to, say they're going to win a championship. But this is a completely different team since he has arrived. Obviously, the things that he has affected, the Warriors will last in points in the paint and free throws. Those two numbers have skyrocketed to the top of the league, which is amazing in a short amount of time. But to me, the seamless way he's come in here and has not disrupted the offensive flow, it's actually gotten better. It's different, but it's more efficient. And that shows up in getting shots on goal, creating his own shot, getting to the free throw line, just really controlling the half-court offense, all the while keeping Steph Curry involved. And that's not an easy thing to do. We just saw the Sacramento team. They kind of figured out with DeMar DeRozan. Now they're trying to work in Zach LaVine. It's not easy. But Jimmy Butler has had such an impact on this team. I'm really impressed with their efficiency numbers. So to me, Bonte, the eye test, this is a dangerous team now, and you cannot compare the first, 40 games before Jimmy Butler got here. If you watch the 5 games he's been here, I think they're one of the top teams in the Western Conference because they addressed such a huge need in getting to the free throw line and finishing in the paint. But now they're not exclusively relying on a three-point shot. Now all of a sudden they're really hard to guard. Jimmy Butler has unleashed so many plays, 4 plays in 20 points or more tonight. So this is, to me, the 5 games he's been here, this is a legit Western Conference contender.
4-1 record since Jimmy's been here. They're top 5 defense since he's been aboard. And the points off turnovers, we just showed you a 91-point differential when it comes to points off turnovers. But how about this? They're playing so well that Steph Curry went to the bench in the first quarter with about 2 minutes of change left. They had a 26-23 lead. By the time he checked back into the game, the Warriors were up 17. They went on a 27-13 run without Steph and Curry with the ball movement. You saw Quentin Post hit a couple threes in rhythm. Pod started to make his imprint on the game here. Without Steph as he fell, they were able to blow this game open.
If you want to make any sort of playoff run in the NBA, you got to be able to play without your star on the floor. And right now, you have 2 killers on the floor at all times. You got Steph Curry in the game, and when he's off the game, you got Jimmy Butler running the offense. And what you saw tonight was him being a playmaker. Quentin Post is a guy who's coming into these games, and he's hitting his shots. He had 9 points tonight, but Quentin Post is shooting 62% from the field since Jimmy Butler got here. And that's because there is a gravity that comes with Jimmy. People are so scared of him getting to the paint, getting fouled. They're double-teaming him, and guys are open on the three-point line. Pods is open on the three-point line. He's also playing with extreme confidence. So the team is playing well together, but the defensive swag on the next end, after you see the offense, the defensive swag as well. They're getting stops. They're running in transition. The pace is incredible. The ball is moving. These are all things that you watch from the Warriors, and you say, wow, if the team is doing this without Steph on the floor, when he comes back in, it's lights out.
Yeah, and when Steph came back in, at one point, Sacramento cut it to 8. right?
Third quarter.
But they had that 17-point lead. Timeout, it went right back to 15, a 7-0 run. And that's the difference with this team because they can control a half court. And Jimmy Butler, when he catches in the mid-post, we were watching, together, he faces the basket and puts the defense at a huge disadvantage. They're going to come double. He sees the entire floor. How many times have we seen over the years that post catch was exclusively to pass?
Right.
That's a big difference when teams are guarding the Warriors now. Now that guy's they're one of their best scorers in the mid-post faced up. He can draw fouls, get his teammates shots. So that play alone is a huge difference for the Warriors.
Willie, you mentioned that the Kings cut it to 8 in that third quarter. Moses Moody 6 straight points, a 4-point play, and then the bucket to go back up 15 as we take a look at the team stat comparison, and the numbers all favor the Golden State Warriors. The assist numbers plus 14, steals plus 5, points in the paint. They were dominating until late in the game, and then the points off turnovers of plus 33 for the Golden State Warriors, and they get a win out of the All-Star break. And Steve Kerr is pleased as he is now talking to the media, presented by BMW.
Pretty complete game. What did you most appreciate about the way you guys played tonight?
Just the way we took care of the ball and avoided, points off turnovers for them. That's what's killed us here a few times in the last few years. We've had big leads and started turning it over and, giving up transition points, and we didn't do that tonight, and that's a great sign.
Conversely, you create 38 points off turnovers. What stuck out about your defense?
Just really solid. I thought we had them in a lot of late clock situations where we guarded their first actions and then put them in tough spots where they had to make some plays, and we were able to to force some turnovers and get out and run off of those. So just a great two-way game for us tonight.
4 20-point scores. How'd you feel about the collection of scoring that you guys got?
Really good balance. I thought Steph was brilliant in the first half. He was 2 for 3, and you don't see that very often where he only gets 3 shots and a half, but he had 6 assists and no turnovers and controlled the game. And you see Jimmy's impact. I mean, anytime we get into trouble, he can get to the line. The game settles down when we get him the ball, and and then obviously we had Moses and Buddy both knocking down threes, and they both played great games.
You guys had like a 7-minute stretch in the first quarter, second quarter, where Steph was on the bench and you guys were plus 14 without him. I mean, what led to that, and what kind of luxury is that right now?
Well, Quentin came in, knocked down 3 threes right away. That top of the second quarter group with Draymond, Jimmy, Quentin, BP, I think Buddy was out there with them. They were great, and Steph was even able to go back to the bench. He was scheduled to check in, and that group was on a run, and so we sent Steph back and waited till after the timeout to bring him in, bought him an extra minute, and let that group go.
Did you spend any of your break looking at the standings and trying to figure, because you've talked about the 6 seed being a target? I mean, how much are you studying what's kind of needed here?
I didn't look at the standings at all during the break. It was awesome.
Not once?
Yeah. I look at the standings every day. I mean, all season long, and we know who's ahead of us and where they are, and there's not anything we can do other than play like we did tonight. And the good thing is there's a lot of time left, a lot of games, 26 games left. If we can get on a streak like we did early in the season, get on a run like that, we can make up games pretty quickly. But we need to do that, obviously. So good start to the post-All-Star break slate tonight, and obviously another huge game against Dallas on Sunday. So we got to be ready for that one.
All right, that was Steve Kerr. We're always tracking for success, courtesy of our great friends at MyFitnessPal. Fezzi Phil, minimize the blow-bys, and I thought the Warriors did that for the most part tonight. DeMar DeRozan got his money, 24 of his 34 in the first half. But look at LaVine and Monk and combined 26 points for the Kings starting backcourt.
No, that's defense. 13 steals for the Warriors tonight. Making sure you take care of the ball as well. All these things are important in protecting your own paint.
Zach LaVine came in shooting 26% from 3 in the 6 games for Sacramento, 2 of 7 tonight, Willie, as the Warriors did capitalize off the Kings' mistakes tonight.
Huge capitalizing off of it. 38-5, was it?
It's crazy.
And that was a stat that always hurt the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of times, the Warriors are hoping to keep it even or not lose by 10. Now this great last week against Houston was 31-2, and that's all about Jimmy Butler in the half court. just always getting a shot on goal, either creating a shot for himself or getting the free throw line or getting his teammate a shot. So that's a big difference. To me, tonight, again, I just thought, offensively, you think about this. They had 20 made threes, 40 assists on 50 made field goals. So the balance of attack is great. They only got to the free throw line 12 times, but I feel like they're going back to old school basketball, inside out. And it's not necessarily a big-time post-up. Jimmy Butler just catches on that mid-post. When he faces up, he puts the defense to make a decision. You're going to come get me, or you're going to let me play one-on-one? Yep. And over time, it wears them down. I thought the Warriors did a really good job starting in with Jimmy Butler. You knew the threes were going to come, but they started inside first, wound up getting 20 made threes.
And 14 more FGAs as he fell in that defense with Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green. It is scary because they're great when it comes to weak side help or defensively. As you see Stephen Curry, another milestone for him. Most 20-point games by an active player. He's had 700 games in which he scored at least 20. He's right there with James Harden. You see Kevin Durant and LeBron James way on top of the list. But this is a great list to be on. And let's flash it back. Our Chase alley-oop. But first, let's discuss Stephen Curry. Let's talk some Steph Curry because really he was quiet in the first half. 7 points, 2 of 3 from the floor. But this shows the impact of Jimmy. This shows the impact of Moses Moody. Shows the impact of Brendan Pajewski. And then Steph Curry saved his best for last, Fezzi.
I mean, Bonte, at this point now, you got to understand that this guy, Steph Curry, he is going to make shots. That's not the problem. The thing I see the most with the Warriors offense right now in this moment with Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry together is there is a patience. Both guys trusting the process, trusting the offense, not rushing and taking bad shots. You see in this position right here, that's the end of the shot clock. Jimmy Butler drives by his defender and gets it to Steph Curry right where he needs it in the pocket, and he hits that shot. When the Warriors are rolling like this, when they are taking good shots, the Warriors are going to be tough to stop. They're shooting 50% from the field tonight. That's because each person is making the right play, getting to the rim. You saw to start the game, Draymond was being aggressive getting to the rim. You saw Moses Moody get going. Then you saw Brandon Pajewski get going. All of a sudden, Buddy Hield came into the game. Same thing. When you get the whole team moving like this, then Steph Curry can cook at the time when he needs to cook.
And not only was Pods, Buddy Hield, Moses Moody cooking, they're shooting wide open shots. So Steph's gravity is creating opportunities for his teammates, his composure, his patience, knowing that as long as his teammates are making the opposing team defense pay, it's going to come back to him. So tonight he only had to take 13 shots, really efficient. And I think even Steph on those relocations is shooting open shots because of the ball movement and the multiple threats on the floor. As you mentioned earlier, Bonte, 4 players with 20 points or more. That means the defense had a hard time taking anything away from the Warriors.
And Steph had the 20. Jimmy Butler had 17. So you have Buddy Hield.
And Draymond almost had a triple-double.
And Draymond Green was 6, 9, and 8 there. And Steph Curry, just 1 turnover tonight. But let's flash it back. Our Chase alley-oop last January. Look at this. He gets the Sacramento Kings. The Jonathan Kuminga. One more time, Fezzi, because I haven't heard it for a long time.
Coming to an arena near you very soon.
And so, Mully, when you said this is a dangerous team, all of a sudden I start thinking about Eric Congo. Because when he does return, which